Hi Capricorn, welcome to your July 2019 Tarot and Astrology reading. This month is one of great change, one of great transformation, possibly some upheaval, possibly some pleasant surprises, possibly some out of the blue judgment moments, but it's intense. There is a striking of balance needed between we and me for you. With the partnership energy of the Cancerian new moon total solar eclipse and the full moon lunar eclipse partial, but important, in your sign, amidst Saturn and Pluto in your sign, amidst the Sun, Mercury retrograding back into and Venus in your partnership zone, it is important that you establish who you are within a relationship, remaining individual but committed. If you are single, it is likely that within the next 6 months, your love life will transform. The South Node and North Node, the aspects to that rule fate, they rule soulmates, they rule connections that feel like fate, feel like star moments. There's a lot of magic there, but there's also power struggles within certain relationships that are long-standing. And you're feeling like you want to keep it to yourself. You don't necessarily want your friends, your family to know your deepest thoughts about this because you would rather keep things to yourself than expose a relationship less than perfect, than expose a contract you've signed as less than perfect. Perhaps for some of you, you hear from a water sign or you're dealing with a water sign who you've had a relationship with where there was lying and deception and they've come around again. Three of Cups often rules reunion. Perhaps it's a Pisces that wronged you in the past, a Pisces that had somebody else and you at once. Perhaps it's a Scorpio that had you and someone else at once, or a Cancer. Perhaps there is a feeling of loss and defeat surrounding a certain relationship that your friends and family know only to be perfect. Perhaps you're feeling a little bit suspicious simply about somebody in your life's intentions, or you know or find out a secret and you feel protective of the person you find out about it from or with. Or perhaps somebody is simply suspicious to you because they're keeping something to protect you. That is possible too. So your relationships, your most intimate relationships, everything is being transformed, and it feels, toward the middle of the month in particular, it feels shaky. It feels confusing. It feels heavy in many ways and light in others. It's a balance of two leaders, and your security, Four of Pentacles, is what is being what is being rocked. We know that Cancer energy rules the 4th house. What are you keeping to yourself, or what is somebody else keeping? With the Sagittarian full moon last month, it's very likely that leading up until the full moon in your sign, secrets are being exposed. Cancer season is a time of great change and movement forward, great direction, in yet Mercury retrogrades from your 8th house, which is making you suspicious. 8th house is that secretive Scorpio house, very suspicious, very jealous, and it retrogrades back into your partnership sector. You're very afraid of something being broken within the shaky energies. You're very afraid of something being eclipsed out. And that could be to do with a Cancerian person, be it romantic, be it family. 5 of Pentacles in the positive position, 3 of Cups in the challenge, and the 7 of Swords as the outcome. Okay, move these so you can see a little better. And the Hermit underneath, contemplation. And underneath him, as I said earlier, the Star. Okay? With that 7 of Swords, I'm going to draw the next two. The King of Cups, a water sign, And the Two of Pentacles, options. Okay, so if you're not dealing with a water sign, stay with me, because it can just represent somebody who you're very committed to, or a partnership where the issue of understanding is most important. Now, I must warn you, when Mercury retrogrades back into your partnership sector from the 8th house of deep, intimate connections, Capricorn, you very well may get the wrong idea. You very well may be unnecessarily suspicious, because Seven of Swords, yes, it's that energy of deceit. We all know it well, but it comes up with the King of Cups. And in this deck, the word used to describe this card is understanding. When I see understanding come up in a Mercury retrograde period, I think misunderstandings. Two of Pentacles is very much to do with options. So for many of you, with the eclipses in your partnership sector and your sector of self, misunderstandings may occur where you feel sidelined by a partner for a particular option, or you feel sidelined even within your family and your friendships for their time spent on other projects, or vice versa. That's entirely possible, Capricorn, as a very ambitious sign and a sign that likes to move up the ladder. Friendships with you, although you value them intensely, friendships can feel sometimes with a Capricorn person as though you're being used for their betterment. Your Capricorn is associated with the phrase "I use," and people, whether you realize it or not, can feel very used by you for status, for information, for social status more so. And I get the impression that if you're not careful in your partnerships, in your relationships, people may eclipse out of your life if they do not feel that you value them. It may also be that people feel your energy this month as being quite suspicious. That's not to say that everything's going to go messy. It's just to say that there are things you should be warned about. Because if I was to sit here and say everything was roses, it wouldn't help you. There's a lot to do with this month that's fantastic. In fact, long-term speaking, this month is a wonderful time for you, because it will eclipse out certain parts of your life to bring in new change. And I get the impression from the reading of the Ten of Swords smack bang in the middle, that's exactly what you are fearful of. For some of you, something in your life makes you feel deceived. And I think for many of you, it could be health. After Gemini season occurring and Venus being there and Mercury being there, it may, due to oppositions with Jupiter, have exacerbated health issues. You could be dealing with someone else who has health issues, and it's very, very significant. It's not really been something that's come up for the other signs, but for some reason I feel like it's with Pluto and Saturn there, inevitably you're being challenged on the regular, Capricorn, and that can feel very confusing. But it's also an energy that you're comfortable with, being Saturn's sign. If you feel misunderstandings occur, if you feel you have hunches on things, bear in mind that Neptune is in retrograde. And it's in a part of the sky for you that rules communication anyway. Communication problems are strife. There's a lot of emphasis on dealing with a water sign or a Virgo or an Aquarius or a Libra or a Pisces. We have a lot of major arcana underneath the deck. Pisces, Libra, the Star, and the Hermit. What information could somebody under these signs be hiding for you? Particularly a Pisces. Perhaps it is protective information. Perhaps they want to spare your feelings on something. Or perhaps they do not feel that you're open to hearing the information they have. We'll get more into that in the extended reading. In your mid-monthly, Capricorn, we're going to go a lot more deeply into your own life changes from this eclipse, because we had a new moon solar eclipse in your sign back in January. The last 6 months have been transformative in many ways. The real change is about to occur. So it's intense, it's wonderful in many ways. It is a great shift in perspective, a great shift in the energies. And if you feel your suspicious mind or your temper flaring under this transit, be prepared to establish whether or not you have been sacrificing your autonomy in your relationships, and whether or not you could maybe connect a little bit more. It's a fine balance, but it's possible. So I love you guys, and I will see you in the extended if you're joining me there to deal with all the signs and all the elements, or if you're dealing with, individual people. And if not, I will see you in the mid-monthlies for your full moon eclipse. It's big, very big. See you, Capricorn.